In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a hover effect in Squarespace. For this particular example, I'm going to be making this image disappear here on hover. However, the process that I'm about to show you will work for pretty much any type of hovering effect that you want to achieve, whether that's enlarging this image on hover, whether it's reducing the size on hover, whether it's showing text on hover, whether it's showing an image underneath it on hover, or changing the color of text, buttons, etc. It all works pretty much exactly the same way. So to make this happen, we are going to need two different things here. We're going to need the help of this Chrome extension, which is completely free. It's called Squarespace ID Finder. This will basically help us find the block ID of the elements. That way we can tell the code which element we're referring to. Then the second thing you want to use is ChatGPT, because that is basically what we're going to use to get the code that we need for the functionality that we want to unlock. So the first thing you want to do here is go to Squarespace and add the text, the image, or the button, or whatever you want to work with, or whatever type of functionality you want to achieve. Add all the elements in Squarespace for that. And then once you're ready with that, move on to step 2, which is downloading this Chrome extension. Like I said, it's in the description of the video. It's completely free. Make sure to pin it right here in the top right corner of your Chrome browser so you can use it when we need it. And then once you've done that, head over to ChatGPT. If you don't have an account, create one. And then simply tell ChatGPT what you're trying to achieve. In my case, like I said, I want the image to disappear on hover, so I'm going to tell it that. As you can see, this is what I've prompted ChatGPT to provide me with based on my needs. So I'm going to click on enter right here, and then I'm going to wait for ChatGPT to provide me with the code. As you can see, here is the code for my particular functionality. So I'm going to click on copy right here in the top right of this box. Once you've copied the code from ChatGPT, head over to Squarespace website. Don't go into the editor, but rather on the left hand side here, on the side menu, I want you to click on the search function right here, and then search for CSS, just like that. Click on custom CSS right here, and then that is going to open up a window that looks like this. Here what we want to do is paste the code that we just copied from ChatGPT, and then I'm going to delete this block ID that it's providing me with right here. Actually, I'm going to delete it all the way through here, just like that. So what you really need to have in the end is this. Obviously, your code will look a bit different depending on the functionality, but make sure to delete this block dash and then whatever this code is right here all the way through. In some cases, you might need space here, depending on what you're trying to achieve, but I don't think it matters. I'm not a developer, by the way. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just using ChatGPT, and I'm showing you what works for me. Once you've done that, the next step is to get the block ID of the elements that you are working with. In my case, I want the element of that image, and as you can see, when I hover over the home page like this, it kind of disappears entirely because the code right here doesn't know what it needs to make disappear. It kind of like takes everything and just hides it. So what you want to do is go ahead and click on the extension that we installed previously on Chrome. So click on it right here, and then you will see the block IDs of the different elements that you have on Squarespace. As you can see, my image ID is right there, but if I hover over it, it kind of disappears, which makes it a bit more awkward for me. But I'll just quickly copy it just like that. As you can see, I've managed to copy it just by clicking on the block ID there. If this happens to you and everything disappears, feel free to just delete the code right here, copy the block ID first, and then paste the code in. Now, once we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and paste the block ID right here. That way the code is going to know exactly what we want to make disappear, rather than making the entire page disappear. So as you can see, the code is there, and if I just hover over the image, it disappears. Now this is going to work exactly the same way, whether you want to change the color of a button, whether you want to make the text bigger, blur it, etc. Here you will have transition. So this is basically referring to how quickly you want the animation to happen from the hovering effect. You can make it 1 second, you can make it 0 seconds. It all is up to you. As you can see, it automatically takes longer. I do want to mention that in some instances, the code that you paste here might not work. And the reason for that is because Squarespace might have other type of code in place that might overrule the type of code that you have here. So what you need to do in such an instance is go to ChatGPT and just basically tell it doesn't work. Can you provide me with an alternative? And then it will just basically give you code that can override the code on Squarespace. That way your code kind of like rules over the code on Squarespace, and the function that you want to create is going to happen. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how to create a hover effect in Squarespace. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help you out.